Old Yorkie here, taking you back to Galarian, where we're trying to see if we live similar lives to people stuck in the middle of a burning demon-infested city. Well, we've been through a hell of a trek. We've lost 90% of all survivors. Well, they're not survivors anymore. We're finally in the vicinity of the Defender's Heart, where we're trying to reach. Let's see what happens next, shall we? That's a big hole. Almost there. See that roof way over there? That's the tavern. Right. Goodies. So what are we waiting for? If we go chop chop. Oh God, no! Oh, the big bugger. Don't think I want to mess with him. Just have a look, that thing is right between us and the tavern. Oh dear Lord, that's not good.
I'm gone. I managed.
How are we going to get there? That's the question. It's huge. Sentry is peeking through a crack in the wall, staring at the demon. An extra bloodthirsty to boot. What's this moody fellow doing here? What kind of creature is it, even all covered in spikes? Must have the hardest time sitting down. True. Shut your trap. If it is yapping, it'll use you as a cushion. Rickard's looked around with haunted eyes. Fighting is not an option. It could spit us and kill us dead. So how do we? We need to distract it. We sacrifice someone so the rest can run to the tavern while the beast is busy with them. Oh yeah? And who is it you think we should treat them? Well, you're the only survivor. What madness is this? We're not sacrificing anyone. Where are we, cultists? Better look over there. He points to the ruins behind you. The rickety building, it looks like it could crumble at any moment. We can make it across the roof, all the way to the tavern, and no one will have to die. Sure, we're not sacrificing anyone. We'll just jump on a pile of rubble and break our necks. We'll die with a clear conscience, though. Great plan. Sentry, remember how you offered to summon a special magic of yours back at the graveyard? Can you summon it now? Oh, no. Sentry closed his eyes. I don't really control it. It's like an instinct thing. I don't think it wants to come out right now, sorry. Sorcerers. I'd like to see a fighter whose sword decides it doesn't feel like slashing today. Maybe we could stimulate your magic somehow? Stimulate? Maybe, but with what? What could summon a deep-seated surge of magic? Breathing exercises? A bucket of ice cream? True love's kiss? No, that's not it. How about a good smack to the head? Think it could help? Sentry starts slapping his head like a drum. Work! Bah, it's not working. Sorry, looks like we won't have an ace up our sleeve at this time. We need to think of something. I believe in you, and you've got to believe in yourself too. Come on, let's go, you can do it. Yes, of course, you're right, thank you. A spark of enthusiasm flashed in his eyes. This is my magic, and that means it will do what I tell it to. Onwards, friends. I'll turn this brute into a bucket of ice cream. One magic work, don't film it, it failed. Come on!
Let's kick their backsides!
Oh dear Lord. He's down. Why don't you tell me about this demon? Level 14? That's stupid. And we can't hit it, can we? That's going to be a thing, isn't it?
Attack!
It's you
Yeah,
or
we're not
me.
going to be able to hit it at all, I don't think. What's its resist acid, fire and cold. Reduces 10 with the exception of good. We're not going to hit it at all. Immune to poison and electricity. There's no point in this. We can't do it.
Don't hold back! Don't hold back! How could
No.
this happen?
I'm not going to hit it at all to begin with. Just look. Armor class 39. This is stupid. Gotta try a different method. We can't go anywhere there. Which means this is the only way we can go. So that's the one thing we got to do. We can't beat it with weapons, that's stupid. Only way to do that is maybe if we turn it down to story mode.
We do it my way.
Even that might not reduce it by enough, I don't know. Nothing else up here,
Follow if
which
you
means it's
dare.
got to be this way. What's this? A bezo.
I'm off.
It's huge. And extra bloodthirsty to boot. What's this bloody fella doing here? Yeah, we've seen that, we've seen that, we've seen that, we've seen that. Let's go through the ruins. That's a great plan, you can bet it is. We climb up there, we'll all die. Let's go. Don't let us down now. The defender's heart was so close, but the last and most daunting obstacle on the way there was a colossal monster stalking the streets in search of prey. To avoid it, the escapees were forced to take a roundabout route across the roofs of nearby houses. From behind them, from the streets of Canabres, came cries of bloodlust. A crowd of cultists was on the rampage, butchering anyone they met without mercy. Their shouting was drawing closer. The escapees couldn't afford to delay. They had to climb up, and pray that the gods would not let them fall to the ground below. Having scampered up the crumbling ruins to the top of the roof, nearby house, the group rose, hesitating. There's a stretch of empty air just ahead of them, a narrow lane when seen from below, but a yawning chasm from up here. Rope did not fail them. After throwing a athletics 20, need to roll a 15. After throwing a loop around the most sturdy looking of the protruding beams, the escapees easily made it to the next roof. But the danger had not yet passed, and the clanging of the roofing under the escapee's feet had dimmed its ugly head to the sky and howled in rage. Its giant nostrils flared as it picked up the scent of its escaping prey. Grunting, it charged towards the wall, the house, on top of which the escapees were hiding. They had no choice but to hold onto the roof for dear life. The crushing blow shook the walls of the house. Ability looking like. Needs 14. Vibration made the escapees' bones ache, stones rattling free from the stonework. Force the impact was such that the escapees who had been clinging to the beams were sent tumbling across the floor, with sharp bits of roofing falling down upon them. One of these shards whizzed right past Sentry's nose, and two more struck Rekath square in the chest and left bleeding wounds. Old Jorky was able to put his hands up in time and barrage a vet of shards, which could have turned his face into pulp, but instead left painful cuts on his arms and shoulders. Glancing down cautiously at the horrid beast stunned by the impact, the escapees hurried deeper into the attic to get out of sight, but a new danger awaited them there. As they were making their way through the building, the escapees sensed a familiar smell of smoke. Following the building was already flaming, the defender's heart was just out of their reach, blocked by fire. But we succeeded in that. Not wasting any time, the escapees ran through the burning attic. They nimbly dodged the hungry tongues of flame, reaching for their claws, jumped over holes and burned through the floor. And finally made it to the other side of the roof. Rekath, being up the rear, was a step away from escaping the fire's embrace when the floor beneath him crumbled. In desperation, he latched onto boards and immediately hissed in pain, his hand impaled on a frighteningly large nail poking through the floor. Hanging over the boiling sea of flames, Rekath could feel his fingers weakening. Suddenly someone's firm hand grabbed him by the wrist, and old Jorky heaved Rekath from the jaws of the fiery death. After getting a good look at the hole in his palm, Rekath glared at Sentry and asked grimly, so whose brilliant idea was it to again to go up on the roof? But despite Rekath's sullen remark, the escapees had in fact reached the defender's heart, leaving the dangerous monster behind. Climbing down from the roof, they saw warriors rushing out of the tavern, gesturing for them to hurry inside. Was it really true? Had they finally made it? Open up with friends, move it. Let it roast you before we become that thing's dinner. It's getting closer. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's old Terabade! There you go. Get in quickly, keep the gate open for long. Let's go then. You saved my bacon. I'll remember your kindness as long as I live here. Didn't know save nobody else though, did we? They all got ghoul fever and died. Welcome, the intimidating armor-clad half-orc. Might you ever tavern gate greets you with a nod. It's good to see you alive, Rekath. You too, so here Beth is what we're looking at. The demon scum are planning to attack the defender's heart. They're gathering their force in the Tower of Estrod. They could strike any moment. I was prowling around, listening to their plans, when they caught me and dragged me off to their makeshift prison. Here are the particulars. Rekath hands a piece of paper folded into quarters. After a moment's hesitation, he adds, and my condolences about Nivea. Stay strong, sister. There'll be a time for tears later when we win this war. Don't reach for your handkerchief yet. That smile blossoms on the paladin's grim face, and Nivea is here, alive and well. Go and tell her of your exploits. Perhaps she will remind you that the expected way to report to me is Commander. I have an urgent report, not. So, Irabeth, here's what we're looking at. Although I wouldn't bet on it. Seriously, she's alive? Rekath heaves a sigh of relief. Praise the savoured sting. Now, I feel like an ass for thinking it was impossible she was dead. I've seen her in action. More lives than a cat, that one. There was a civilian with us, a townsperson we saved from the cultists and monsters. Thank you for finding a way to look out for others. Well, only one of them. The saving of a life is an act that gladdens me on my day. The miller is yours. The miller of yours. He reminds me of someone. At any other time, I'd take a closer look at him. But we have more pressing concerns right now, fulfilling our duties as city guards. All the same, be careful with that one. I don't think he is who he claims to be. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. Can't fill my belly with thanks. How about you spare us some gold instead? Shush you. You saved the people. What else do you want? Are we crusaders or some kind of mercenaries? What's the situation in the city? It's bad but not hopeless. New fighters are joining us all the time, and those we thought lost are returning for duty. We'll continue to fight. The crusades are not over. We've already stormed the Great Garrison, where the command of the occupying force is based. Unfortunately, we had to retreat, but we will return, and we'll send them straight back to the Abyss. For security reasons, I cannot disclose all the details, but I can tell you one thing. A strike force of brave souls has joined our efforts, led by a truly remarkable individual. Hey, I bet that's my grandson, Sir Yorkie. If their mission is successful, the enemy will not withstand our counterattack. Can we help in any way with the tavern defences? Your report has helped invaluably. You've had a tough time of it, your legs are barely holding you up. Take refuge in the cellar and get some rest. You've earned it. Are you sure? This looks like an all-hands-on-deck situation to me. Anivia teaches her people well, I see. You will stop trying to slap me on the shoulder while I'm giving you orders at least. Annabeth flashes a grin before her face turns grave once more. Yes, Rekars. I'm sure of my orders. Now, if you'd be so kind to do as you're told. We still have time before the battle starts? I think so. You can take a look around the tavern, talk to the other survivors, have a beer, maybe get some new gear. Whatever you do, do not go past the gate. The monsters could attack at any moment. Beer, conversation, even a little shopping. How I've missed the small pleasures of civilization these last days. Rekars looks like he wants to protest, but he just hunches his shoulders and looks inside. It seems that he, unlike Sundry, is not overly happy to be back among people. The situation in the city is bad but not up. New joining us, etc. So, yeah, we've seen that. Alright, I'm going now. Alright. When you go down to the basement, we'll barricade you up, in from up here. You rest easy while we drive off the demons and their minions. That's it. Oh, talk to people in the tavern and rest in the cellar. Vasily. You arrived with a group of escapees, didn't you? No, we arrived. Well, I suppose we're escapees too. Praise Abadar that you managed to escape those criminals and make it here. The portly man smiles warmly at you. Abdar's sacred symbol gleaming on his chest. I am Vasily Rathmus. If you need the help of a cleric, I'm at your service. Who are you? Vasily Rathmus, sworn servant of Abadar. I was a prior of the temple of Abadar in Canabres while it stood. Now I am prior of only a bag of scrolls. But that's all right. Our Lord helps those who rebuild cities from the ashes. You're selling scrolls. Can't you help the victims of this calamity for free? Unless I cannot. The giving of alms is a sin before Abadar. If people become inured to receiving things for free, they will cease to work hard. That will spell the end of everything. Skilled trades, commerce, cities, civilization itself. Do not ask me to give anything away for free, for I cannot. Yes, Abadarans are a miserable lot. All of civilization will collapse as a result of one good turn indeed. What about being a good neighbour? Does your god of cities not teach you that? Do not confuse two different things, he Sage raises a finger. Being a good neighbour is one thing, cultivating parasites is another. I have to go. Alright, so that's you. Anyone else named? There's Staunton Bane over there. Hey, storyteller's here. There's Bemir. Give me locks. Alright, well, let's have a look at Staunton. And now I've got that cursed fiend. Why has she come back? So the abyss with all of it.
I managed.
Songs and sung from this stage until very recently. Okay. So many stories have become intertwined with this city. I can feel somewhere nearby another one of them is approaching its turning point. Alright. Give me locks. New arrivals, make yourselves at home. The pallid Dampier gives you an uninterested once-over with his blood-filled eyes. What'll it be? Oh, look, at the eyes on him, like chips of ice. Barkeep, if you'll be so kind, stare a little longer at my tankard. I like my beer extra cold. With an irritated snort, the Dampier turns away from Sendry. How are things in the tavern? The tavern keeper shrugs. All the others in the city have closed, so things aren't going too bad considering. War is bad for some, but it brings big business for others, eh, Gemmel? You? The Dampier points a pale finger accusing me at Rekar. Wipe 2 bottles of wine and a whole ham. I should throw you out. Come on, that was 20 years back. I paid you back a long time ago. And you're going to keep bringing it up for the rest of my life? Yes? At least he's honest. Do you think this place will hold up if the cultists attack? The tavern? No, but that pot. He nods at the knights gathered around. They'll do it. This is their last chance. I have to go. Alright, Bemir. Thought my number was up so many times on the way here, and look at me now, still alive. Didn't see that coming. No one else around that's bearing a name. All the others are going to be people you... Oh, there's Kyoto. Kyoto. I suppose. Because I'm pretty sure all those are generic names, just aren't anyone you can really talk to. Alright, so they're not going to say anything either. Down to the cellar then. Basement.
It's done.
Somebody being held behind these bars very recently. A prisoner. The earth shakes. Okay, so we've rested. Are they faring without us, I wonder? Perhaps we should go up and lend a hand. They're best said to sit tight down here, so we're going to stay here and not get in anybody's way. Hey, what are you doing? Well, maybe then. Ow, my eye, something is coming. I can feel it, something very, very bad. That doesn't look like something we can handle. Ah! You're here for me, aren't you? Well then, take me, but leave the others alone. Go on, put down your little toy. Where are we now? What's going on now?
There he is on yonder hill. I bet he's pulling some awful faces at us from under that ridiculous mask. Yup. Let's wallop him so he sends us back and troubles us no more.
Hold on. Aren't you going to explain any of this? Where are we? Who is that fool in the mask, and what does he want from us?
I don't know. I swear I don't.
You said he was after you, so you do know something after all.
I can make a pretty good guess, more like. You see, how do I explain it?
Straightforward.
I swear on my fluffy socks that I don't know what I've got myself tangled up in. That fellow's been on my tail for days and days, even before I got to Canabras. I could sense his presence deep in my gut, and that's all I know. I bet he's got something nasty in mind. Hey, you! Why don't you come down here and tell us who you are and what you want from us?
The cultist on the hill raises his arm and Sentry freezes. The bandage falls from his face, revealing that the eye beneath is glowing with an icy light. Much like the cold, deadened sky above your heads. Sentry convulses, clutching his throat, and is seized by violent coughing. When the coughing survives, Sentry's lips begin to move, but the words that emerge are not his own.
At last you're mine. You will pay for making me chase after you for so long. You tried to deny me what was mine by right. And the rod, my rod, you will pay for that.
Oh, do you like Rod Stewart? Hold me close, don't let me go? Oh no. Release Sentry right now.
I have hunted him for a long time. He is mine by right. He has my treasure. And you do not dare to give me orders. You will all suffer the same fate. You will be but frozen bones beneath my feet.
Well, I'm old, so my bones already feel frozen most of the time.
Someone's cocky. Aren't you afraid you'll slip?
What treasure do you want to take?
It is something that came into his possession by chance. Something he does not understand. A shard of the Great One's power. The same power resides within me. But I mastered it. I absorbed it. I learned its ways. Once I have gathered all the shards, my master will be reborn.
Who's his master? Who do you serve?
The mortals have forgotten the name of the Great One. They will remember it. They will remember it and tremble. Hear the name of my master and yours, doomed ones. Sithard.
Huh? I thought he was gonna say Baphomet or Discari. Sith who? That's a new one for me.
Who are you? Name yourself.
My face is hidden. My name shrouded in secret. I am a servant of the Great One. And a vessel for his might. I am nothing. But I am destined for greatness.
So you're nothing and your master's shithead. Sizzled.
The usual cultist gabble. Sounds mysterious, but it's just empty words.
How long have you been following us?
Not you. The gnome. A long time. Too long.
Well then bugger off and stop following him, you daft bugger. Where are we?
In the abyss. In the kingdom of my master. Your master, too. The master of all worlds.
What do you want from us?
From you, I want you to die. From the gnome, I want a stolen treasure. Something he acquired by chance. Great power. It is mine. Mine.
Yours. Alright, go on with it.
Ha! Maybe I didn't know how to wield this power, but I swear on my bandaged eye that I will soon learn!
You go, Sentry.
Thanks for keeping him talking. While he was poking around in my head, I was poking around in his. Alright then, let's get ourselves back home before he gains the upper hand again.
Whose side are you even on? What's going on here?
I'm on our side, of course. Who else's? As for what's going on, I heard the same as you. That scoundrel serves someone called Sithod. No doubt a hideous creature with a name like that. He carries within him a piece of this Sithod's power, and it seems I do too. I don't have a clue what's going on, but everything's relatively clear. Alright, enough chit-chat. This villain will come to at any moment and close the portal. Get going. Shoo! Don't you worry about me. I'll be sticking around here.
Yeah, we got no reason to stay here. Why don't you come back with us?
No! Remember what happened with the Inquisitors? I understand now. It was my fault. Well, it wasn't exactly my fault, but that rotten scoundrel was after me, and others suffered for it. And the same thing happened in the tavern. That one in the mask won't leave me alone. He'll find me wherever I go, and he'll kill another lot of innocent bystanders in the process.
Why should we be afraid of a shithead? A Sithod?
Trying to play the hero? You'll die here for nothing. Can't you come up with a smarter idea? If I were you, I'd go back, round up some of my pals, and set a trap for this creep.
What he said?
Actually, you know what? I don't give a damn. Do what you want. If you were a little bit smarter, you'd stick with us. But if you're just looking to grandstand, have at it. Get frostbite on your ass and die here if it'll make you happy. Come on, let's go home. There's no reason for us to stay here.
Usually you get frostbite in your extremities, not your ass, but okay.
That's what I've been telling you. Go. But I'm not running anymore. I'm going to finish this right now. I've made up my mind, and you won't talk me out of it. I swear on my gold earring.
Well, I'm old, so I'm ready to die, so we won't leave you. Whatever's waiting for you, we'll face it down together.
Have you lost your mind? We're in the middle of nowhere, in a blizzard, without hats, gloves, or even a fur coat between us.
Look, we might be in the middle of a blizzard, but as long as we protect the women from blizzard staff or bosses, we're okay.
And now with no way home. You'll live to regret this, mark my words.
And the guys, actually.
But, even so, thank you. You are true friends. Your words have warmed my heart. Well, since we're all stuck here now, onward. Let's take down that masked madman.
And who was that masked man, let's say? That was the lone shithead. Where are our pets? I mean, we got no chance. Never mind. Oh, there we go. Lots of demons. The portal between planes slammed shut, cutting off the small party's way back home. They had come so far through the ravaged Canabres, they had evaded so many deadly perils. Surely they had not survived all that, only to die without a trace in the freezing cold far from the mortal world. Of course not. But the fate of those brave souls remained a mystery. To be continued. Oh, when? And that's it. Right, let me have a quick discussion about this game, this DLC. I is disappointed. Let me start with the good. I love the proposal, the idea behind it. I even like the setup of where you're going. You know, different zones. You don't really have much choice. It's not. There's a lot less. I mean, open world's not really the right description, but you know what I mean. A lot less choice on where you go than in the first game, the main game. But I do like the progression. You've got a good chance of losing all of the people, which it makes sense because you're in danger. And you've got to hunt for really crappy equipment to begin with, which you can then improve over time. Which again makes sense. And I don't mind that, that's good. My biggest problem, and it's the one that I've read from others, is difficulty spikes in some of the combats. So, want a better way, mini bosses. They're just not really beatable on core. And core should, to my mind, be core. I'm not a great player, but I play core for Kingmaker, I play core for Wrath of the Righteous. This, I had to scale it down. Why? Your core should match what your core is. If core's going to be that hard, it should be that hard throughout all the games. If it's not going to be that hard, it shouldn't be that hard here. So you know what you're dealing with. I have nothing against barely beatable levels. There are some excellent players who know the mechanics in and out and can beat it on any level. Unfair included. I get that, and that's fine, and that should be there. But your levels should be similar between the different games and DLCs. This isn't. Also, if you're going to make it so that there's a decent chance of people getting killed, just like there was, because not all that many places to rest, there's not all that many safe places to get out of Death's Door, then you should provide ways of me replacing them. I wanted a lot of that time with Witchy Poo dead. Well, she was all that useful because she spent most of what time she had alive in a place that she couldn't do anything because she couldn't affect undead. Oh yeah, if I'd known that, I wouldn't have created Witchy Poo. But yeah, better chance of replacing them would be good. I kind of like the NPC aspect of the survivors, as opposed to you and your companions. Yeah, I do like that. That you're trying to help people. It's kind of like an escort quest without a long escort quest, without the annoying nature of escort quests, where you have to walk around with this thing that's not going at walking pace and not going at running pace, and is suiciding into every fight they find. But there is still a lot of squishiness to these survivors, and in a way I like that. In another way, I'd like a little less. I don't know. I've seen a lot of people don't like the cliffhanger at the end. I do, as long as it has meaning. As long as it does continue in some way later. I'm not convinced it will, but if it does, then I'm down with that. If it doesn't, then, just leave them reaching the defender's heart and move on. Let that be the final cutscene. If it does continue, then that's good. There we have it. That's my overall view. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. And maybe I should give it a little more. The reason I give it a 5 out of 10 is those stupid difficulty spikes. They make it so that the game is vastly less enjoyable. If you're going to do that, then as I said, make that the unfair difficulty or something. Make your difficulty levels match across games and DLCs, so that the person knows what they're getting into. Alright. Well, that's the end of Through the Ashes. We made it, and now we're lost in the abyss. The abyss with you. So, I'll see you next time. Well, I won't see you next time because I'm off chasing some demons and cultists, apparently, in the abyss. But my grandson, Sir Yorkie, will be around sometime. Some people say he's a bit evil. I think he's just misunderstood myself. So, bye now. See you on. Oh, and if you want to help the channel grow, hit like, sub, comment, all of that lovely stuff. Hit the bell for notifications. And